Post-secondary classrooms include diverse student populations. While many traditional age students are in courses at our institution, we should also consider adult learners. To create inclusive learning environments for all students, awareness of the academic and non-academic barriers that impact student success is vital. The collegiate experience is a rich opportunity for students to explore the intersection of theory and social injustices. To effectively reach students, educators should reflect on the student experience in their courses. Therein, creating inclusive learning environments for students is a necessity. In this tutorial, we will describe inclusive teaching and learning, recall empirical support for the efficacy of inclusive teaching practices, and utilize an inclusive framework to empower faculty to become more inclusive educators. When one considers the term inclusive, there is an explicit inference to exclusion. What barriers inhibit student engagement and success in the learning environment? Inclusivity requires self-reflection and awareness that there are always opportunities for improvement. Inclusion necessitates a holistic view of the various assets that a student brings into the classroom. Hawkins observes that inclusive learning and teaching in higher education refers to the ways in which pedagogy, curricula, and assessment are designed to engage students in learning that is meaningful, relevant, and accessible to all. This description reveals the criticality of examining how we teach, what we teach, and ultimately how we assess student learning. Hawkins' definition of inclusive learning and teaching includes three essential elements: relevant, accessible, and meaningful. These terms reflect who we are as an institution. We are RAMS. Relevant speaks to how the course content connects to what students value, such as financial empowerment and career preparation. Accessible speaks to the ease with which students can access the course content. Accessibility includes how the course content is disseminated and received. Meaningful speaks to how the content applies to the lived experiences of students. Students can connect with the course content when they see representations of themselves in the examples, images, and authors used in the course. There are some commonalities among the incoming class of 2026, but we must take the time to identify who we are teaching. A Getting to Know You survey or student success platform such as EAB Navigate before the semester begins can provide pertinent data about students to identify the best teaching practices to use in the course. It is important to remember that our educational experiences impact how we teach, either positively or negatively. The inclusive framework developed by Sheffield Hallam University includes 5 characteristics. The first characteristic is being flexible. An inclusive educator is open to change and versatile. Inclusive teaching embraces the value of different course modalities. Also, inclusive educators revise their course assignments to appeal to new student demographics. The second characteristic is being equitable. An inclusive educator ensures consistency and accessibility for all students. Consistency includes grading practices and the quality of the feedback students receive. Consistency also requires faculty to identify the students they give less attention to. Equity and accessibility includes how students engage with the course content in various formats: text, image, and audio. The third characteristic is working cooperatively by involving students and stakeholders. Collaboration addresses the importance of incorporating active learning and high-impact practices into courses. By engaging alumni and community partners, students can develop relationships with prospective employers. The fourth characteristic is supporting personalization by recognizing that successful learning and teaching include personal differences. An inclusive educator incorporates different assessment practices, frequent quizzing to replace a cumulative exam, and opportunities for students to submit a digital project instead of an essay. The last characteristic is embracing diversity by creating opportunities to develop an awareness of diversity and global issues. Inclusive educators help students develop a critical consciousness by exposing students to different cultures through diverse authors, case studies, and images. When students experience the impact of global issues on their daily lives, it can serve as a positive motivator. Awareness becomes an impetus to address the social inequities that they value. Given the inclusive framework and our understanding of how our past experiences impact how we teach students, consider the following as you prepare for your next class. Inclusive learning requires inclusive teaching. In your classes, there are things that faculty can do before, during, and after class to create an inclusive learning environment for students. Before class, design a graphic syllabus to convey the essential elements of the course. Distribute a Getting to Know You survey for students. Use the survey data to create culture clusters for small group discussions and group projects. Compose a diversity statement to add to the syllabus. During class, create guided notes to support note-taking and long-term memory. Use student feedback to reflect on your role as an inclusive educator. Use informal, continuous checks for understanding, such as 1-minute thread and muddiest point. Reimagine how you introduce the course content on the first day of class, such as people bingo and syllabus speed dating. After class, develop a consistent communication cadence. Utilize the Message Students Who feature in Canvas. Assign chapter tasks to motivate students to read the textbook. Create transparent assignments that include the purpose, task, and criteria for success. In this tutorial, we have examined how to foster an inclusive learning environment for all students. The essential elements of inclusive learning and teaching are relevance, accessibility, and meaning. As we consider the diversity of students who attend our institution, applying an inclusive framework is necessary. With intentionality and respect, we can create transformative learning experiences that students will not forget.